Hey guys, it's Will here. Sorry I haven't done a video for a little while, but not too much has changed in the markets. There's kind of a battle, between inflation, deflation, looking at the earnings and sort of the jobs and stuff like that. So, as I mentioned in previous videos, I've been a little bit hesitant to go full bore into these markets right now, but in some cases, they don't look too bad. It's just for me, at this point in the move, it seems a bit extended, but a lot of times it can go on a lot further than you think. So if you're careful, like with your stop losses and your entry and exit points, you can still trade or invest, but it depends on your, like I said, your strategy, longer term, shorter term, if you're trying to buy dips or not. But generally what I was looking for is a strong, good uptrend, above the 50-day, even above the 21 exponential moving average like this. You've got the MACD or price percent oscillator crossed up and going up. Like that's kind of the ideal range right there. And you can see on the IWM, which is the Russell 2000, that we've been in this horizontal move. So I sometimes draw a line, if we hit this and come back down 3 times now, that usually, it fails when you hit multiple times and you don't break through. So here you can see that we had like a high and then it came back down, a high, it came back down. So higher lows and higher highs. Once we hit this higher high, we came back down, we touched this one. We did establish a new low here, but then we broke that low and never were able to break. So it's been in this kind of range. So now we're below the 50 and it's, it's not looking too good right now. This is the Russell 2000, just in a flat period. If you're trying to buy individual stocks, there might be opportunities. As long as the market doesn't crash, if it's going sideways or up, there's still opportunities within that market. But, this has been in quite a long sideways trend here. For the Dow Jones, you can see we had a nice, uptrend here, but it's been flattening out quite a bit. So I'll look at the momentum a lot of times. It can help to switch to a weekly. So with TC2000 that I'm using, I'm looking at the daily, that's the D here, but if I go over here in W's weekly, you can sort of see stronger like trends that aren't just on a daily basis. So we had this really strong uptrend, and then you can see how it's now crossed down. So even though the prices could be going up a little bit, the momentum can give you a heads up that things are dropping down, ahead of time. It doesn't work 100%, but this momentum, is not looking great. And let's go to the S&P 500. Still, like the chart's in a nice uptrend. Momentum, is not looking too great. If we go back to the daily, there's nothing wrong in terms of the chart, but it's still looking like it's in an uptrend here, but a little bit weak. And then here we have the Qs, NASDAQ, still in an uptrend, but you can see here the momentum, is declining. So that could be a sign just to keep an eye out for that. Some of the things that have been important is the U.S. dollar and the 10-year Treasury, interest rate. I'm going to flip. Oh yeah, so I want to mention, if you want to get a free trial or $25 off TC2000, check out the link in the description. I really like it. I've got the gold plan, which is real-time US data, and it allows me to have alerts and things like that. So if you click on this alert section in the console, I'll put an alert. There's all sorts of different types of things you can do. But for example, I have an alert when the history price crosses below the exponential 21. So because this is like staples, like food staples, grocery stores, stuff like that. because we're so high, we went quite high up above. If you want to sort of lock in some profits, you have different scenarios. Like, I'll let it go to the 200. I'll sell, or I'll see what happens when it hits the 50. But when you start going sort of quite high away from the 21, I might want to keep it above the 21. So I at least want to be notified, and I'll sort of decide at that point. But a lot of times it depends on when you get in. What your trigger was to get in. So if you bought when it went above the 50, you might want to ride it, as long as it's above the 50. So it kind of depends on what your entry point is. But I just wanted to be notified. So this is nice. I'll get a text message and an email as well. So if you like that, you don't want to be watching stocks, you can have it cross a line that you create. Like right here, when this supported here, and you bought, it's a low risk entry because you'll sell if it crosses back below that line. So if you see it sort of flattening and supporting at that support line, you can you could buy there, and that'll be and that's right at the 50-day moving average. But for an initial, like if it reverses on you, you can just sell and say that was my decision point. So I was going to take a quick look at the 10-year yield. You can see that we've pulled back to the 50 here. And the other thing I look at is the gold and silver. So this isn't looking too good. We broke down, like there's a wedge here. It broke down. We're below the 50-day for silver, and gold. We've broken down below the 50-day as well, and we kind of break out here, but then we came back. And so if we go back to TC2000, we can look at different things for gold and silver, PCLV. So you can see here, downtrend, we have lower highs, and we're broken down below the 5,200. So this is really bad. And gold, we were pulling back up to the 50 and the 200, and then we bounced down. So not looking great. If we go to the weekly, there's support down here. So sometimes if you're going to buy, and you can use if you see that there's support at a previous low, like if it manages to pull back to here and stays there, you might want to buy that. And that would be a good decision point to sell if it breaks below that. So if you buy and it looks like it's supporting and then it breaks through that would be your sell point. So it kind of depends on where you buy. Like if it pulls back here to the 50 on the weekly and you start seeing it going up, you could buy. So then your sell might be initially, if it reversed right at that point, you would sell. But once you establish that it's going up, you can say, well, if I break below the 50, I'll sell it or something like that. So you have to kind of decide what your entry points are, and that'll kind of help you determine your exit points. So that's mainly, I wanted to cover the indices, and you're also able to scan for whatever criteria. So if you're looking for strong stocks, I'm looking for high relative strength. I'm looking for the price to be above the 21 to be above the 50. The relative strength to be strong compared to the S&P 500. The moving average, the 50 to be above the 200. And so when you set that up, it kind of filters out a lot of stocks. So for electric vehicles, I'll go back to daily, but electric vehicles were looking strong right now, in an uptrend above the 21 and the 50 and stuff like that. Lithium, there's a global lithium ETF. You can actually go into the ETF and click on it and see what stocks are in there. So it's not just lithium. It's got Tesla in there. and then you could buy the individual stock if you wanted to. So this would be the lithium, or the company that that you can buy instead. So you might not want to buy the vehicle, Tesla itself. So it's a cool way to see. And then you've got this cybersecurity, and there's a whole bunch of stocks in there. So that's a really nice feature with TC2000. Like I said, if you want to get a free trial or $25 off, check out the link in the description. That helps my channel as well. I get a bit of an affiliate commission, and it's no cost to you at all. It doesn't affect any your purchase at all, but it helps support the channel. And I appreciate everybody who's picked this up. It's a great piece of software. I use TradingView as well for crypto and looking at some of the oil prices and currency, stuff like that. But for stocks and ETFs and unbelievable scans, this is and the charting, and the alerts and all that kind of stuff I use TT2000. But if you want to get TradingView, I've also got a link in the description. I use that. I have a subscription for that as well, because I do alerts, and I do a lot of relative scan. Like for crypto, I compare to Bitcoin. Like I do a relative strength compared to Bitcoin. So you can find some of the altcoins that are doing better than crypto. But if you're looking at like this cybersecurity ETF, you have the option of buying that one, or looking at individual stocks, and you can scan the stocks as well to filter out. I think that'll be it for now. I'll probably do another video on cryptocurrency, and so if you're interested in that, check out that video as well. Talk to you guys later.